Welcome to our next blog on self-care and how to gain a healthier, happier version of you. I'm Sophia and I'm from Trident Wellbeing. I'm a mind and wellbeing coach, author, martial art instructor and personal trainer. In this series, I'm focusing on weight loss with tools and practices that you can all do quickly and easily. For more information or tips and tricks on how to rewire your health though, you can click on the buttons or links below and just subscribe by pushing down below as well. Most of you listening to this have probably tried many conventional methods to lose weight and found that they're largely unsuccessful. Now, I don't know precisely what they were, but if you're on this site, then you're searching for something that has either better results or that is more long-standing. You're probably sick of hearing about this newfangled diet or that. You may be confused as to which exercise program or exercise equipment will be the best. But as mentioned previously, I'm not focusing on diets, nor am I giving medical advice, but this is for those people who are healthy and who know they have bad practices, realise that the fad diet is not sustainable and are not always balanced for long-term physical or even financial health. If you need specific exercise programs or more advice than this short vlog can offer, just send me a message or email. Now, you may be feeling disillusioned with your results at this point, but with my series, you'll be on a health journey and using different practices each week to help you develop new neural pathways, develop new habits by rewiring those unhealthy ones. Now, over the past 4 weeks, we've been over 7 practices, and I recommend if you're watching this for the first time to scan through those first. Each practice has been designed to help you in a really segmented, balanced way to help you achieve your goals. And by doing these, you'll develop new habits, new practices, and overall well-being in a congruent, long-lasting manner. If, while you find that you're doing these, some emotional issues do bubble up and you find that perhaps you're holding back on certain things or messages that you might need to receive, just check my blogs or websites. There's different tools up there, and my book has 7 hacks to help you with more specific rewiring, a little bit more in depth. But what I can assure you though, if you are following these strategies on this blog, you will be moving along the path to a healthier, happier you. So by now I'm assuming you've been working on the other suggested 7 practices. By not doing these, you'll not be able to notice any changes. If you're doing even 1 or 2, you may notice small changes. It seems to me though that it makes a lot more sense to do just 1 or 2 of these each week and see how easily they become natural daily habits. And by doing this, you'll begin to change, and people around you will notice that you're changing, maybe even before you do. So for our next strategy, this might be a little bit more controversial, but it's time to be accountable.
Somebody! Hello! There are 2 people stuck on an escalator and we need help.
Last week we delved a bit deeper into yourself, and by doing so you found out how you may be sabotaging yourself. We learned that you're stopping yourself following a healthy lifestyle and what you may be doing, or maybe what you may not be doing, and what's holding you back from doing even these really easy steps. You may have discovered that there are triggers that are setting you off. Perhaps they're setting you off on an emotional path and it causes you to respond with unhealthy practices. Now, over the week, you may have skimmed these and not really taken a lot of notice as to why you just plopped that extra bit of chocolate in your mouth or why you just felt crappy and had no energy to exercise. My hope is that you're still working on discovering these triggers. Now, I'm confident that when you have that aha moment, you're going to realise that you can change even faster by addressing these moments as they crop up and changing their reaction to them in a more healthy response. Now this week, I'm aiming to make things a little bit more uncomfortable for you. No, believe it or not, I'm still not saying get out there, hit the pavement, give me some Ks or miles in those legs, but I'm talking about a little bit of emotional discomfort. Now, I suspect that some of the triggers that are still to be uncovered, and they're not going to do this unless you take the next step. It's really going to come down to how serious are you about losing your weight? How serious are you about getting fitter or healthier? And look, if you aren't, you may as well turn off now and save your time. But if you have it in you for this next challenge and you're still with me, it means that you really do want to move a bit further on the path to feeling healthy. And can you imagine how good that will be? Can you see yourself in that outfit that you want to wear? Can you hear compliments from others as they notice you changing? Can you feel how much easier it is to perhaps move, climb stairs, play with the kids, go on a hike, or do anything physical? Are you able to imagine what a fitful, healthy sleep feels like? Now, if you don't make these changes, I want you to notice what will continue not to happen. What will not happen in your life? What will not happen with your relationships? What will you not feel? What will you not see? Now, if any of these answers struck a chord, I want you now to take accountability and action. This week, what I'd like you to write down exactly what you do and what you don't do. What time do you decide to make these decisions? What preceded them? And most importantly, how did you feel after them? Now, that last part is the catalyst to your change. It's time to measure, observe, notice, and document exactly what you are doing and feeling. Now, this may feel somewhat uncomfortable and confronting, and maybe even like a chore, but you're not going to be able to change unless you notice how you feel about your decisions before them, and then how you feel after you've made them. Many people come to me and they say they want to lose weight for this event or that, and then they continue to go home and they do the exact same thing. Now, recently I've worked with a gentleman that put on 25 kilos. He'd do a couple of hours exercise each week, sometimes only 1 hour, and then say, why aren't I seeing any changes? Why aren't I losing weight? And he had to face some hard facts. This particular man was making poor food decisions in the evening. He would tell me he'd eat well during the day, but logically this didn't add up. So when I delved a little bit further, we discovered what seemed like a little snack in the evening, the end of the day, was actually permission to give himself a reward for a day well done. Now, these rewards added up, and over the week he increased them and then spread them out over the evening so that he could have an ice cream and a cake. He was doing this unconsciously and not really noticing how he felt afterwards. When I asked him to pay attention to what was happening prior to the urge to have a snack, what he said to himself when he went out to perhaps go to the fridge or the cupboard and get it and eat it, and then how he felt afterwards. What he noticed was that he really liked the idea of a treat at night, but after it he didn't choose to ignore the niggle that said he didn't need it and actually felt a bit over full and sometimes a little bit bloated. He noticed he also made false promises to himself that he'd do better tomorrow, and then the cycle would start again because he really didn't invest time into how these feelings really resonated, and he pushed them aside. So over the next weeks, he focused on how he made a decision to eat rubbish and how he could swap it out for a healthier food choice. He paid attention to his body and how it felt after he consumed something healthier like fruit instead of ice cream. And then he praised himself for a job well done. These changes in feelings, the self-praise, remember our first session and how we had to note when we'd done a good job and give ourselves that self-praise? Soon he was noting that he really felt how he really felt afterwards, and he didn't need a sugary reward at the end of the evening. He never had thought of it as being hungry, but now he'd lost those sweet cravings. So this week's task for you is to note what happens before you eat something that you know is unhealthy, or before you choose not to move. What is that trigger? And I want you to write it down. And pay attention to how you feel before you make that choice. Pay attention to how you feel after your choice, both physically, how do you feel it in your body, and emotionally. And then how long these sensations last. Do you feel really good after going for a run or a walk? Do you feel really lethargic after making a decision not to? And each time I want you to manage to make a healthy choice, give yourself a pat on the back and relish how good your body feels. So until next week, please practice this next strategy, because the more you pay attention and give yourself accountability, the more you're going to learn about yourself. Please keep working on the other 7 strategies and notice how you're feeling better each week. Let me know how you went by posting below or send me a message, because I want you to live your best, healthiest, happiest life. Don't you deserve it? So if you've liked what I've had to say, click on the button below and subscribe, and stay tuned until next week to hear how you can keep on feeling better and better with real workable strategies and techniques. Until then, sending you much love.